What's going on, y'all? It's playoff time. Got some early play-in props for y'all. Ain't much on the board. Only got the Miami and Atlanta game and Chicago and Toronto game on the board right now. And let's talk about the games I got on the board. Let's talk about the Atlanta and Miami game first with Trae Young. Last year in the playoffs, he only averaged 6, but they only played 5 games. And the year before that, the 2020 and 21 season, he averaged 9.5. And the last 15 games this year, he's averaged 10.4. And on the season, he's averaged 10.2. And just feel like 9 I play for that push. That's pretty good. I feel like 9's pretty low. I feel like that'd get bumped up to 9.5. I feel like 3 out of 4 of these will get bumped, and I'm going to explain why. Let's go to the Clint one. Clint Capella, last year in the playoffs, he only played 2 games, got hurt. Team had played 5. He only averaged 2 points and 7.5 rebounds. The year before that, the 2020 and 21 season, he averaged 10.1 and 11.2 in the playoffs. And the last 15 games this season, he's averaged 11.7 points per game and 10.7 rebounds. And 19.5, I feel like is just too low. He's had this 11 out of the last 15 games. He's reached this mark, and 13 out of 15, he's had 19. So he's been right there at it. 13 out of the 15 games, last 15 games. So I love that prop. And the Miami side, let's look at the Miami side on the board. I just feel like it's way too inflated. They added some Lakers. It's like they only got the points up. Yeah, they only have the points up right now, but I feel like they're reading this. Was hoping we'd get a Jimmy Butler prop, but I feel like they're just way too inflated. They know he's got another gear to him. I feel like they're reading this. They already know my man has another gear to him. Even with the Bam one, just feel like just too inflated. The whole Miami side, I feel like, is just too inflated. I think all of them's above their averages. Yeah. On the season, they're all above their averages on the season. Just feel like that's just too high. The Miami side's just like they're predicting Miami to blow them out or something. I don't know, that's just too high. Don't like none of the Miami plays. Probably won't touch Miami at all. Let's talk about the Toronto and Chicago game. Last year in the playoffs, DeMar averaged 5.4 rebounds and 4.8 assists. And his last 15 games, he's averaged 5.3 assists and 5.2 rebounds. And on the season, he's averaged 5.1 assists per game, and 4.6 rebounds. And feel like 10 is just too low. He's been killing it. I think he's hit this 9 out of the last 15, and 10 out of the last 15 he's had 10 or more. Just feel like 10's too low. Feel like DeMar DeRozan has another gear, just like the Jimmy one, but I feel like they're not predicting it as much, and it's not as inflated for DeMar DeRozan. And the Chicago side, it's not as inflated for DeMar DeRozan. And my other one is Siakam. This one is a little bit already inflated, but with Siakam, I just feel like he's been on a roll. And last year in the playoffs, he averaged 22.8 points per game and 7.2 rebounds per game And in his last 15, he's averaged 22.4 and 8.5 rebounds per game. Just feel like 31.5 is just too low. He's been on a tear. Feel like he can give Chicago trouble too. I feel like that'd be a good game. Toronto and Chicago, they'll be going back and forth. I feel like that'd be a really good game. Let's talk about the Lakers. Something else that let's talk about the props that ain't on the board because it looks like all they got is their points, and only like one of their points. I like Karl Anthony Towns 21.5. Feel like this is too low. I'm gonna wait to see what his points and rebounds prop comes out at. If it comes out at 28.5, I like that more. 28.5. Anything above 28.5, I like his points more. He's been on a tear recently, Karl Anthony Towns, and just feel like they're gonna double team. Well, not double team, but they're gonna force the ball. Maybe even double team. Yeah, maybe just got to get the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hand, and that's why I'm waiting on an Anthony Edwards prop for his assist. I'm waiting on that. If it's at 4.5, I love that for Anthony Edwards. I feel like the Lakers are gonna force the ball out his hand and make Cat beat him, make the bigs beat him with Anthony Davis down there. 4.5. If y'all see that, I'm definitely playing that for Anthony Edwards if it's that low. On the Lakers side, we all know LeBron has a different gear, and I don't like his points as much. I feel like that's too inflated, but I'm going to be looking at his rebounds or his assist category. I feel like anything under 7.5 in either of them categories, whatever the category is lower, honestly going to probably go towards that. Yeah, just a different switch is flipped in the playoffs with LeBron. He's going to be going for every rebound. Everything's on the line for LeBron. He's just going to switch that gear. The ball is going to be in his hand a lot. High percentage player in the playoffs. He's going to have the ball in his hand. That's why I'm going to like his assist or his rebound props. If they favor like the rebound plus assist, if it favors in the number for the rebound plus assist, I'm going to look at that. Just got to wait for them props. And Anthony Davis is another person looking at. I was hoping his points would only be at 25.5. 26, I might not touch. Hopefully his rebounds come out at like 11.5, maybe 12. I might miss. I don't know about AD. He has another gear too. He can be aggressive. Been aggressive in his playoff career. 26.5, I don't know. I might stay away from that. My favorite Lakers play might be a LeBron rebound or assist. And same thing with Anthony Edwards. I'm probably going to lean towards his assist. I also like Cat's points, though. Cat's been on a tear. But I feel like they're going to make Anthony Edwards pass the ball, get the ball out his hand. And that might help Cat out with his points. But them are my favorite two out of the Lakers and Timberwolves game. And let's talk about the Miami and no, we've already talked about that. Let's talk about the Pelicans in the Thunder game. I'm not going to mess with the Thunder at all. Honestly, not messing with the Thunder props probably. But one prop I do want y'all to keep an eye out for is Brandon Ingram. Has a different switch he can flip, and he's going to have to flip. He's last year in the playoff, he averaged 27 points, 6.2 assists, and 6.2 rebounds. In his last 15 this year, he's averaged 27.5 points and 7.9 assists and 6.4 rebounds. And feel like he's going to come out firing just like he did the game that meant a lot tonight against the Timberwolves. Even though they lost, he came out firing. He came out like he was supposed to, and I feel like he's going to do that against OKC as well. But anything else that I'm missing? And I don't think so. We covered the Hawks and Heat, Lakers and Timberwolves, and the Bulls and Raptors. Let me talk about Zach LaVine as well. See if y'all like that. He's been on a tear. But let me tell y'all this: Zach LaVine over in his playoff career with the Bulls. No. In his Bulls career against Toronto, he's only been over this one time. He's only been over 25.5 one time in his Bulls career against Toronto. And I don't know how, just telling y'all the info, I don't know how y'all are seeing that, but he has been on a tear. But I'm going to stay away just for that reason, that he's only been over it one time in his Bulls career. And back to this DeMar one, the 10 rebounds plus assist. I just feel like the Bulls, I feel like they know this. They play better when they're moving and not just playing iso ball. And I feel like DeMar knows that, and DeMar just is smart enough to know. He's a veteran player, just knows that switch to flip, get his teammates involved, and feel like he's going to kill. If y'all just like his assist prop, but I feel like he's going to be on the glass too. He just has another switch just like Jimmy. But just the Jimmy props are just too inflated. It's like they're predicting it already. They're already reading that, but I don't know why they're not reading the DeMar one. They got the DeMar around his season averages. Like he ain't got a different switch to flip. DeMar DeRozan is different. I don't know why they're doing him like that. And yeah, just feel like 3 out of 4 of these are definitely going to be bumped up. I feel like the Clint one's going to be bumped up to maybe 20.5. Trae Young 9.5, and this one will go up to 10.5. I feel like before the game start. They might not touch the Siakam one, might even go up, but I feel like that's already a little bit inflated. That's above his averages a little bit, like 1 or 2 above his average. But I feel like Siakam's gonna come out, main guy, put up maybe 20 plus shots, hopefully. But other than that, that's an early look at some play-in props. Definitely gonna come out with another video before the tournament, the play-in. But other than that, that's all I got.